As I said, shifting gears, I've got some questions for you. I know you've worked with crystals now for over 20 years, you've told us, and a number of people have come to you for help. So I'd like to ask you first to be able to get from you to share some stories of how you've helped people and what reasons they came to you. So give us a story if you can.
Well, I had an instance where a friend of mine was indicated to me that her son, he's about maybe 7 years old or 8 years old, and he was having some problem in school. He wouldn't pay attention to the teacher, and he only liked to play, and they called his attention a couple of times, and the teacher was indicating that he was misbehaving a lot. And when he did come home, she would try to get him to do the homework, and he still didn't want to do the homework. She was having a difficult time with her son doing the homework and paying attention in school. So I said, well, you can solve that quite easily. So she said, well, how can I solve it? She says, I said to her, you know the crystals, because I do know you have some crystals, but there's a crystal that is the shape of a pencil, you know, a small crystal. It could be an amethyst, it could be a clear quartz. And this crystal that's in the shape of a little pencil, he could wear it, you know, around his neck like a little pendant. And what that does is it clears that negative energy that he has towards school, towards doing his homework. And the crystal will change him in a way where he become more attentive, he'll listen to you and be more studious and listen to the teacher. And gradually he's going to come and say, Mommy, you know, I have to do the homework now. Could you come help me with the homework? And you're going to see it's changing him, because the crystal will change him, because the crystals have archangels in there. And of course, you as being the mother can program the crystal and say, I got this crystal for my son, and I want you to help my son to pay more attention to the teacher and to listen to what's being taught in the classroom, to behave, and when he does come home, that he'll be enthusiastic about doing his homework and learning more things. And I will help him with the homework. And she will see there's a change in her child. And she told me that since she got the little crystal in the form of a pencil, her son had changed completely. He pays attention to the teacher, and he can't wait to do his homework. And he's doing very well in school. Then she also told me she has about 2, 3 daughters, and they're really weren't that enthusiastic about, you know, going to college and continuing even high school for some reason or other. You know, they're in that stage of teenagers, they get rebellious and all. So I said, well, you can also get them some pencils too, crystals, and give it to them, let them wear it. And you can see a very big change in your daughters. And so it's did. The 3 of them continue their high school, 2 of them went to college, and one is still continuing college. And they've made such a big change, and it all has to do with the crystals, because as I said, the crystals have archangels, and they're here to help with many different issues.
Well, you know, it's interesting because a lot of people don't know about crystal healing, crystal energy, or even the angelic realm, what part they play in crystals. And I am glad that you have shared this with us today, because there are a great many of people out there who weren't aware of these things. And based on what you're telling us today, Breeze, I'm sure there's going to be people to go out and purchase crystals, or to go out and seek healers or people who work with crystals and find out what more they can learn, or even Google it on the internet to find crystals. I guess there's a crystal shop in every state in America, right?
Yes, and also, you know, when you do program a crystal, you can deprogram it and reprogram it to some other function. In other words, okay, that was solved already. You know, they changed and they finished college, and now they're going to start working, or even, you know, maybe they need to find a job, or to get a higher raise or whatever, and you could program the crystal because the angels are there to help you in many different areas, as long as the request it's a good request, something positive. The archangels do not work with negativity at all, because the minute you use the crystal for anything negative, it will close up on you. Close up means it's not going to do anything at all.
So you have to program the crystal for your highest good or
Right,
the highest
positive.
the positive things.
Mm-hmm.
And based on that, then the crystal will work with you to give you these things that you want.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty much the law of attraction, the
Right.
law of equal compensation, and you can get people who didn't agree with you before, or maybe you were butting heads with, now all of a sudden to want to break bread with you or meet with you
Right.
or to be friends with you. Is that correct?
Right. Yes. There was also another case where my friend was telling me that a cousin of hers was looking for a job and was having such a hard time and couldn't find a job. I said, well, why doesn't he get a green phantom?
Now,
I said,
a
or citron.
green phantom, and that is
A green phantom is a white crystal or clear crystal that has green in it, like little specks of green, and that helps you to open the doors for you. And I said, you can get one and program it, indicating to the archangel there, please help me to find a job that where I go to seek a job that they will accept me. And when you do, that you program it, then you say, I have this job. Thank you very much, Archangel, for helping me. And when you leave the interview, you leave knowing that that job is going to be for you. But you have to have that belief, because if you don't believe, it's not going to do anything for you. And also, apart from that, there are other areas that the crystals can be programmed for. Maybe there's a problem at the home, a lot of bickering and fighting and all of that. You can get a rose quartz crystal where, the atmosphere in the home will change, because what the rose quartz crystal does is bring love to the home.
we all need
And
love.
everyone who has a rose quartz crystal in the home, or that's wearing one, they're going to see the attitude towards them change. Because chastity is in the crystal. That's an archangel, and she's of love. And so that negativity that comes towards you will not be there. It will be repelled by the archangel, and you'll see a change.
Now, you mentioned the female archangel, so there are male archangels and there are female
Well,
archangels.
the archangels actually have no gender.
Mhm.
There's no gender, but they're not male or female. You understand? They're just the spirit, and they're really clear. So some of them give the image as a female, and some give the image as a male, but actually they have no gender.
That's interesting to know. Now, Archangel Michael is the lead archangel of all the archangels. Is that correct?
Yes, he is. I would say, like, if you're in a problem, say for instance you're driving in an automobile, and all of a sudden you see there's going to be an impact with another automobile. What you should do, which very few people do, is you should say, Archangel, help, help, Archangel, help me, Archangel, help me. And the minute you call on Archangel, whether it's one person in the automobile only, when the impact hit, it's not going to be that severe. You will survive the impact. Yes, you might have the crash, but it's not where people were going to die in that crash, because Archangel will put himself in between the crash. He will stop the automobile in a way where it's not severe, where lives will be taken.
Well,
But you do have to do the calling to Archangel. You say, help, help, Archangel, help, Archangel. When you do that, Archangel Michael, help me, Archangel Michael, help me, Archangel Michael, help me. And he'll instantly come and lessen that impact. Even if you're going out in the street and you feel that something is going to happen to you and there's someone coming to you, that you know is going to hurt you, just make a call to him. And for some reason, I don't know how, that person all of a sudden will stop and will not do you any harm and will just make a U-turn and go. But you do have to call on the archangels, because the archangels come to you only when you call them. Now, if you're going to be in an accident or some big thing is going to happen and it's not your time to go, they will intervene, but you might get really badly hurt. While if you do make the calling and you do get hurt, it would be a minor thing.
So they're gonna buffer it if they can.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
they're gonna make it less severe
Mhm. Mhm.
in most cases.
Right.
But they're always there with us.
Yes, they're always there with you.
Do we have our own personal archangels? Or
Everyone has its personal archangel. You have two archangels, one on your left and one on your right.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that, because when I met certain Native American people out in Washington State, they saw my angels to my left of me and my right of me, and this was a number of different occasions where they told me that I don't walk alone. So it was interesting, because as soon as I was told that, it raised a hair on my neck, and I looked back, and though I couldn't see it, they were able to see it and feel it and know it. So I know there are people such as yourself who have the ability to be able to see it, sense it, know it, and share it. And you're a fascinating lady. I find this information very helpful, but especially for those who are spiritual and they're seeking a spiritual path. And a lot of people today intuitively believe in spirituality. There's a knowing, I guess, that we have without really knowing. But it's interesting that way when you do know, and you know what to focus on or what where to put your attention, how much better and how much more clarity you might have in your life by doing so.
Yes, and if people would really take the time and learn more about the crystals, that would be quite helpful. They can help so much in their life, because these crystals are full of archangels and angels. And the reason why they have more than one angel or archangel is because each one of them has a function.
So each archangel has a duty.
Yeah, has a duty. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, you will gravitate to a crystal immediately, because that archangel, the angel, see you have a problem and they can solve it for you, and they're calling your attention, but you don't realize it. It's saying, take me, I'm here, take me. You know, and they say, oh, I love that crystal. I don't know, for some reason, I have to have it.
What happens if somebody gives you a crystal? Is that okay too, if somebody gives you a
Well,
crystal?
when somebody gives you a crystal, actually what happens is that crystal, that archangel in that crystal has finished doing the work with that particular person, and now it's time for the crystal to go to someone else. And usually that person who has the crystal will give it to that person who actually needs it. That person will come into their life, or maybe there's a friend, and for some reason, when they're at their home, they say, oh, you know, by the way, I have a crystal here, I'd like to give it to you. But it's the archangel saying, it's time now for me to go. I have helped you in the area of your need, and now there's someone else that I need to help. Now that person could be receptive and maybe not. And if they're not receptive, meaning they don't want it, fine, the crystal will close back again. And the next time somebody comes into your life, you again will say to that person, I have this crystal, would you like to have it? That person might say yes.
Well, that's great, because I'll tell you, I have a crystal gifted to me, so now I understand the process of how that all happens.